What do you think, Pete?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I think the
I
seafoam
wish
green.
my Indian dealer would have sold some green bikes. He did not sell any green bikes.
Yeah, seafoam green, right?
Yeah, it had another name and I'm groping for what it was. But it's so original.
It looks really original, right? It just sat in someone's
It's
basement.
so original.
Yeah.
The only thing that I found on it, you see 5 screws here.
Yeah,
The vertical was a smaller bag.
okay.
It had 4 screws to mount the cellar.
Mm,
That's the only thing that's
really,
now, it's an Indian set of bags,
yeah.
but that's a chief bag and not the bag that they put on the
So,
vertical.
so a little more space he has when he
Yeah,
wants
it's
to.
a whole lot bigger
Yeah.
saddlebag.
He can take a bigger lunch with him wherever he's going. But I thought this bike was beautiful, and what a
Now-
survivor, you know?
Now see, this has the handlebars, the upgraded handlebars, rather than the low bars, the 49.
Yep.
All
Like
this is,
my bike.
all this is correct.
Yep. And this is looking nice up
Yeah.
here. Mine slides around too much, but we'll get into that. This looks great.
Now, somebody chrome plated the headlight. It was black original.
Yep, mine too.
Now let's look and see. It is correct. You see the hole here with
Yep.
this? That is correct.
It's nice.
It has a 49 Speedo.
This is a great bike. Look at this. I love it. Thanks, Pete. Thanks for walking us around it.
Yeah.
I really dig it.
That's now
That's
you
pretty
take
great.
this original green, and it hasn't been cleaned up at all. But this was a beautiful color with the chrome.
Mm,
And you go back to when it was brand spanking new,
1949.
49. That was outstanding.
Yeah. It was a showstopper.
How you doing, Austin?
I am good. Good to finally put a face there. Yeah.
Thanks for taking the time to chat with me. I really loved the story and all the pictures you posted online and everything. So are you a motorcycle guy already? Like, do you already have a love for motorcycles? How did that start?
Going back all the way to when I was a kid, we would buy like broken lawnmowers, chainsaws, whatever, figure out how to make them working again. Yeah, anything with a motor. And then when I turned about 13, I kept bugging my dad about getting a car. And so we actually bought a old Mustang out of a junkyard, and we rebuilt that together. And I still have that car.
What year is the Mustang?
It's a 98 Mustang GT convertible. So it was cheap, kind of almost disposable at the time. Those still really aren't worth a ton, but my dad wanted something that we could work on together. I could learn how to work on stuff with. And
Yeah, this is your home vocational school of all things mechanical, and like hours of like, what have I gotten myself into?
oh my goodness. Yeah.
And then you wake up again like 3 days later, like my fingers are still black and dirty. Like, I
Yep.
don't understand. And like, why is there a rusty ring in the bathtub from all the metal shavings? It's just grinding. You're like, just
Yeah.
ruining your whole life gets taken over by this classic car. You
Yeah.
have like the best intentions. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. That's what it's all about. That's
But
awesome.
then, you know, with this particular Indian, the guy that we, for lack of a better word, inherited it from, his name's Bob. And Bob and my dad have worked together for, I think, over 40 years. Some of my earliest memories were going to my dad's office. He ran a little small construction company, and Bob was always there, always hearing about Bob has an Indian, and
Folklore of Bob having an Indian in his basement, right? Like,
yeah,
it's like whatever. Like,
Yeah.
no,
yeah, it was Bob's got an Indian in his mom's basement in Chicago, and it was like, okay, cool, sure he does.
This is Bob Baina, and I'm Robert Minter.
In 1977 or 78, I was working in the little town that I grew up in called Ladd, Illinois. I rode my Yamaha motorcycle to work one day. One gentleman by the name of Jack Evans said, I have a motorcycle. And I said, oh yeah, what do you have? And he said, I have a 1949 Indian motorcycle. And the very next day, Jack drove that motorcycle up to the shop where I was working, and it was a beautiful bike, and it ran like a top. 2 or 3 days later, he came up to the shop and he said, I paid $600 for it in 1951, and I'll sell it to you for that same price. I rode the bike for several years, and then I moved to the state of Texas, and the bike stayed in Illinois in my parents' basement of their house.
What year was that?
In 1981.
81. It's been in that basement since 81.
Been in the basement before that time. As I became older, I didn't have the time or the money to put into that bike, mostly the time. And I saw that Robert's son, Austin Minter, who's off camera right now, had a particular interest in this bike. After seeing the way his son reacted, it reminded me of the way I reacted when Jack told me he was going to sell me that bike. In fact, the day that Jack Evans told me that, I ran from the body shop to the bank to get $600 out of my account and give it to Jack.
You know, the last year or so, Bob's health started declining a little bit, and my dad stepped up because Bob didn't have a lot of family here close. And then Bob came to us 4 or 5 months ago now, and was like, "Hey guys, like, I'm never going to be able to go get that bike. If if you guys would like to give it a good home, I'd really like to see you guys get it, bring it back to life, and enjoy it." And so a few weeks went by, and his sister texted us a bunch of pictures. And
So I'm looking at this going, the doors alone on the basement doors, I'm just like, this is so cool. Like, I'm like, this is awesome. I just love the doors already just by itself. I'm just like, this is great.
there was so much even to that building. House is a funeral home. And Bob grew up living on the second story of the funeral home, and their parents ran the funeral home on the first floor.
Like the zombie Indian from the funeral home back to life again.
Yeah.
Wow. The anti-theft device brick here is just
Yeah. Yeah. And those doors were completely rusted shut. Like the actual outside frame there, I'm looking at this picture you're showing. I had to wind up standing on that frame and then slowly like opening those doors with like my whole body weight so that we didn't break anything or bend anything. And, one of Bob's cousins that lives there said he had been soaking those hinges in like penetrating oil every day for like 2 months just because that door hasn't been open. They said probably in 30, 40 years.
You didn't need the brick. It's totally taken care of itself.
Yeah.
It's hermetically sealed. You're done. Yeah. So eventually you do get the doors open, and then you go down. There's like another super creepy door with like awesome cobwebs. You can smell the mildew, right? Just as you come down, I can already smell the dampness just from the photograph. So great. Absolutely. You got it all open. Again, just fun, just peeling paint. Like, this is just cool stuff. I love the look of it. I think it's a horror film, but it's little they know that it's the Ghost Rider motorcycle deep down in there. And there she is for the first. So you hadn't seen her yet for the first time. Like,
we had gotten some pictures that were kind of, you're really never sure. Sometimes you get pictures and then the other side of it is completely rusted out or rotted out, or it's always leaning against a curtain or something that was wet the whole time. I mean, we didn't really know what we were getting into at all.
Against the wall. One side you didn't see, you walk around like, oh, it was actually sideswiped years ago. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, exactly.
The last 30 years of looking at the hero side. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so we go down in the basement, and man, this is amazing that there are still bikes and cars alive in barn finds and basements like this. Because really, what can you put in this basement? It's not that large, right? The cellar is there's not a lot of space, just enough space for an old Indian. Just awesome, so great. And you get closer, you're like, well, it had oil in it at one point.
Yeah, at some point it did. It was funny too. There was like a little. It looked like, I guess they would have called it Tupperware in the late 70s as well, and that Tupperware had kind of like dissolved into the ground around it. I mean, the Tupperware was just gone. And so it was a little bit of it was like stuck to the bike when we tried to pull it out, and I had to just go down there with my hands and just rip that little Tupperware out of there, but it was just, gone.
And the seafoam green, because I know I've done some research, I'm learning as I go, this whole process for me. And, 5 colors for Indian. And this is one of the original colors that was available.
Thing on that, Pete, we've both you've met him in person. I haven't had the opportunity yet, but he was saying that from what I remember, he said he's never seen an original one in this color. So I guess it was one of the more rare colors that people picked. Most of them you see are going to be red, or I'm pretty sure yours is yellow and things like that. But it was really neat to see it.
It's so cool. Yeah, you got the odometer. It looks like all the parts are there. You got the front rail for it in case it has to layer down, and the seat's original, and front mounted horn. So cool. Oh, you got the saddlebags, which are great. They look really
the saddlebags
cool.
are there. It's got Indian brand tires on it, which I didn't.
Oh, really?
There's one deep in there somewhere that's got those. But I had no idea there was even Indian brand tires until we got up there, and I was like, holy smokes, the tires say Indian. So
Indian made everything. They made tires. They even made their own oil, motor oil. If you look at
my goodness. Okay.
Buy Indian oil. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
And these little stickers here. The guy I talked to a couple episodes ago, his name is Brian. If anybody wants a sticker, I'm making them. So
he's got them. Yeah.
And so if you need a label, hit Brian up for reference. Like, how do you place it? Where is it? And it goes right there, which is really, really cool. All just kind of a time capsule that it just stayed there for that long. Because my coil was stuck in the toolbox, and then you lose the toolbox, and you're walking around this bike, and it's covered in dust, so you know that nobody has been on this or next to it in decades, right?
Yeah, it was interesting. His sister that lives up there, her name's Katie, and she's always lived in that little town. And she was saying I think she said a few years ago there was a pretty major plumbing issue in that house, and they had to have all the plumbing redone. And she said they got kind of worried because several of the plumbers were like, "There's an Indian in the basement," and that little town, you saw the cellar door, there was no locks there, and so they got kind of worried for a while. But she was like, besides that, nobody even knew it was there. Bob had it for a couple of years in the 70s and then parked it and then moved to Texas, and so nobody messing with it, nobody touched it, nobody even talked about it. It was just parked exactly like it was and left.
You have the correct bolts here for the odometer, and I don't have that, so Wally's fixing that as well. It's just I just want to make it rideable and everything works.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have the correct front fender. I didn't have the right fender. I had some other bobber fender. So nothing you have to do to this bike. You just get it running. Look at this. This is great. And the logo is still on there. Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
No huge dents in the tank. Somebody elbowed it or dropped it.
No, it was
wow.
pretty darn perfect. So yeah, when we got the bike to Wally, that was kind of what we had talked about is, hey, let's, pretty much everything rubber on the bike is shot naturally. So all the seals and things like that. So it was, hey, let's take it completely apart, clean it, and just put it back together with everything, the rubber replaced. I actually talked to Wally this morning, and he was saying that he had done a compression test on the bike, and we've got one cylinder that's dead. So
that means that one cylinder is alive.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
Wait, after all this time, one is still working?
That next picture was that Indian tire that was so cool sitting there with the cobwebs still on it,
And you're going to make wall hangers out of them or something, right? You're not going to.
I am. Yeah. Yeah. We'll definitely keep those.
Stick a mirror behind it, make a round mirror, put it on.
There you go. Yeah.
And done and dusted, because you want to keep them and you don't want to ride on these because they're going to explode. And
no, but what was fascinating is they did hold air. So I had a little battery powered compressor, and I was like, man, we're going to give it a shot, because going up those stairs is going to be a lot easier if they're holding air. And sure enough, they just pumped right up and held air. They're hard as a brick, but they held air.
Okay, so now you're down there and you're like, okay, it is what it says it is, and I got to get out. So luckily you have a board. I think there's a video here we can play. Yes, a quad. You have a quad. So who are these people who we're looking at on the who's the driver?
So that's my dad on the 4-wheeler there, and the guy in the white shirt standing there, that's Bob's cousin. And then the guy in the blue shirt is Bob's cousin's friend. So I guess they were having breakfast that morning at a local diner, and he was telling his friend, hey, I'm going to help get Bobby's Indian out of the basement. And he's like, well, I want to go. I want to go. That guy had lived in that town 30-something years, and he had never heard about the bike until that morning. And he was like, I've been here forever, and I didn't know there was an Indian in the basement. I want to go see this thing.
Wow. Here she comes. I love all the WD-40 next to the door.
Yeah. Yeah, that was trying to get those doors open. Yeah, so.
Oh, I see. You're inside, kind of guiding it out.
Yeah, I was holding the handlebars, kind of walking her up. So we didn't really know how this was going to go. We brought boards and straps and rope, and that's my 4-wheeler. We actually had that in the trailer all the way from Texas. So we've done enough kind of adventures together that I was like, man, I'd rather just bring a bigger trailer and more stuff than get up there and not have it. So
everyone's got to look like professionals. Man, listen, guys do this all the time. Every weekend, another Indian out of the basement. Oh, you got it. Nice.
But there she is, and that little kickstand you saw there kind of dropped and drug on that board.
Yeah.
That I couldn't see what was happening, so there for a second that kind of scared me. But then there she is out of the basement.
Yeah, and there she is, the first time in daylight in like 30 years. Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy. Yeah, it even better outside. Like, oh man. Yeah, you got the correct just the little rubber grommets stuff that disappear with time. Like I don't have, like you have access to all of it, and as a point of reference to go, oh, that's what it used to look like. It's really nice to see on a original bike. It's just great. I like it better in the sunlight, man. It's a great color.
It just kept getting better and better. So, and the seat, I mean, there's no tears in the leather. It's all hard, so it'll be a challenge when we get to figuring out how to bring that stuff back. And some of the chrome on some of the buckles on the bags has worn off over the years, but I don't plan on replacing any of that. I mean, if at all possible, we're saving it exactly like it is.
Now, as far as the paint goes, are you going to like buff it out? Are you going to leave it dusty? What are you thinking?
It was pretty interesting talking to Wally before I shipped the bike. One of my favorite things is actually cleaning stuff. I know that sounds crazy, and sometimes drives my wife crazy that I just like cleaning. But every guy's got their weird thing. But it sat in my garage for almost a month before it got shipped to Wally, and it was so hard for me not to clean it. We don't plan on painting anything. If there's anything when Wally pulls the motor out, if there's anything with the frame where maybe some corrosion has started, maybe doing some, coating on that. But as far as all of the seafoam green parts, I don't want to paint any of it. I want to leave it exactly like that.
Yeah, if you have a cleaning disorder, you want to come over to my house, I'll give you my address. I got in the garage. I'll give you some, whatever you need, put some music on. And tell stories and just watch you scrub and polish all day.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And I think that there's, with products like OSFO or whatever, kind of just to kill the rust from continuing, whatever. Yeah. But even the quality of like the chrome, it still looks great, man.
Oh yeah, I expect all that to clean up extremely well. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be great. Look at that, just rusty and sweaty and great. Okay, so we're getting it in the truck to transport, right?
Yep.
Smart. Yeah, I had to learn all this for the first time. Like, oh, that's how you strap a motorcycle down. I hadn't had your experience, so I didn't know like where does it go to where, So
yeah.
These side mirrors always are difficult because they stick up over here,
Okay.
They make the handlebars.
I hadn't done a ton of digging into that, but it's actually funny you mentioned that. I didn't know what that little tab was for until you just said that. So that's a mirror. All right.
Here's the tab.
Yeah.
And there's that hole there that you can kind of see.
Yeah,
right
absolutely.
Here. This bolts on the side and you have a mirror, right?
Okay.
So a couple things. One is it makes the bike even wider now. So any kind of like maneuvering you think you're going to do, I'm a very new rider, so I need all the room I can get. So now it makes
right.
It inch. I need every inch. So
yeah,
that makes it difficult. But it is an original type feature.
Okay.
Bars, and I think you can get them on both sides. One guy makes them where on the back of the mirror it's scripted Indian.
Okay.
This one is not. So I'm assuming it got replaced because crash or boom.
Oh yeah.
Or whatever. But this was on my bike when I got it. It's got all the pit marks and everything, so it's sweaty and rusty, which matches.
I was gonna say, yeah, that'd be perfect.
Dive into this. The Indian only has so many Indian logos, if you will, and there's the one on here. And I learned that if you put the stainless steel crossbar across the front with two headlights, you already have the front bar and the rear crash bar and the bags. Now you're getting into the world of making it a Super Scout because it's just accessory. Yeah, so there's Scout and Super Scout. And I was like, Pete, what's the difference? He says, accessories, kid, accessories. Almost all the accessories. I went down this deep rabbit hole and I found this guy from Joaquin, Texas.
Okay.
And it goes on the front fender. It's this fender tip here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And cool. This is, again, old, sweaty, like.
Yeah, it really does sound like when these bikes were built that they were, like hand built. Like everyone is a little bit different. Everyone has its own little quirks and things like that, which I personally think that's neat.
You got it loaded into the trailer here in Chicago, and man, even in the trailer trying to buy wood, it looks so good.
It does. It looks incredible. It looks incredible.
Because you got the right fender, you got the straps on there, and and they did such a nice job. Nobody has gone crazy with like customization. Mm-mm. It looked pretty much out of the dealership, like what it would have been. Man, I dig it. I totally love your bike. It's amazing.
Yeah, and like what was wild too is every single, of course we didn't put fuel or anything, battery in it or anything like that, right? But it kicks over and it had compression. It shifted, through by with your foot. It went. The shifter was free. Went in. The gears, the clutch was free. The brakes actually still worked. I definitely wouldn't ride with them, but getting on and off the trailer and around the, just pushing it around the house, the brakes still worked. It was incredible.
Yeah, and somebody chromed out your headlight, so that's cool. If you're into that, I am. I think I love it. So
yeah,
it's killer. I've never seen a bigger smile in my life, dude. You're so happy. You're like, I got the bike.
Yeah, that was it was a lot of driving. We did that whole trip on a Thursday to a Sunday. And it's about 18 hours each way. So and then getting the bike.
You drove all day into the night, and you finally got home with it. Wow,
yep.
That's killer. Great trailer too, by the way.
Yeah.
And this is you sitting at home, pacing around, going, "Don't clean it, don't clean it, don't clean it."
That's exactly right. I even had it in the shade because I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get it, get the pressure washer out and clean it." And then I just looked at it and I was like, "I can't do that. I can't do that." So
no, I kind of like all the water spots on it and everything. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, obviously you'll give it a wipe down, this and that, but look at even the chrome on the wheels it's pitted from time, but overall, the chrome job was just better back then.
No, absolutely. I mean, a little bit of 4-aught steel wool and a little bit of time. I think all that'll clean up almost perfectly.
Yeah, look at that. You have such a jump ahead of like where I started, because even like the pin here that goes down for the kickstand is correct. Somebody put a bolt in mine and a nut and was like, that'll work.
Oh my goodness.
So I had like find all these things, which that helps me learn about it, but also I'm kind of going like, so yeah, this is great. Look at this. Amazing. And there's no like big gouge on the oil tank or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
What a lucky find. It's like the unicorn out of the basement.
Yeah. I mean, there's really no damage whatsoever. Yeah, it's just incredible. It's just incredible.
You even have the fancy oil clips on the lines. I mean, I know people watch this like, what are the guys talking about? Like, these things are important. They don't make these, or they're hard to find.
Yeah.
Lamps anymore. And the fact that you have them is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, really love it. Even your oil lines are vintage, perfect. Like, oil lines. Mine were like done by some guy who went to Home Depot and bought some copper plumbing. It worked. It totally worked. It ran, whatever. But at the same time, like that, it looks like someone bent it with those pliers and made it work. But this is great.
There's so much of that stuff's cool. But even like what you were talking about, where somebody used some, Home Depot plumbing. I don't know. Part of me thinks that that's cool because nobody does stuff like that anymore. On modern stuff, there's no ingenuity of I'm just going to fix it with what I've got. Right? It's
right.
It's almost just things are disposable nowadays. But yeah, the shape that this thing's in, incredible. So
yeah, it's incredible. Man, look at this thing. This is great. The pitcock looks awesome. Yeah, you're the right pitcock. I had the wrong one on there. And all this stuff is just correct. And I'm going like, damn it, I got to get a second nut on my bolt here because he's got to get back. I don't know that either. It's for point of reference, it's just really nice to see like something that has been preserved and you can like see just how things are supposed to be versus
that was pretty much Pete's biggest comment is it was so neat to see a bike, this original that was just put away, because even over the years of people even maintaining correct ones, right? Well, they couldn't find something and they get something else or something like that, right? It's this one was put away when parts were relatively easily findable, so if something broke they were going to use the right one. It wasn't just what can I get, it was okay, well I'm going to get the correct thing, and then it was put away. So
I love it.
Yeah,
that goes with the tires on the wall, man. The land of Lincoln.
Absolutely. Yeah, so absolutely great.
Yeah,
I ordered off of I found it on eBay and a 1949 Texas motorcycle plate, and so that's what I plan on running on it. So
yeah, look at that speedo. That's great. Replacing this little arrow, whatever. I bet you it's in there somewhere. I bet you like the piece here floating around.
The guy that owned the bike originally back in the 70s, he told us that he remembers the day that it fell off, and he said it's still sitting there in the bottom of that speedo. And so
how fast are you going on the Indian that the arrow breaks off?
Yeah, I don't know. But Pete, of course, was like, oh, there's a guy in Texas. I'll give you his number. He can take it apart and he'll rebuild it and give it back to you, and it'll look exactly the same and work perfect. So
I can't believe the tank is indented. There's no like
no.
Right, you got to get in there and you got to bump it out and whatever.
Yeah, there's nothing. It was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Bob did you right. Look at that. Seat sits just perfectly in the dentation. Man, oh man. Oh, yes. How it sits.
Yep. And there it is. That's it. That's at Wally's house a couple weeks ago when he got it. So it made it there safely in exactly the same shape that it left my house in.
I love it so much. Man, you're a very lucky owner. I can't believe that, because you've known about this bike from Bob in his basement, obviously, since you were a child or a kid.
Yeah.
So what's next? The plan to get it back on the road. He's going to go through it mechanically, make sure it runs and stops and starts right for you.
Yep.
And then are you going to drive it back to Texas?
No, that would be an epic road trip. But no, we'll. I don't really want to ship it like with a shipping company, so I don't know if I'll drive out there and bring it back myself. Planning to make it out there and get to meet Wally, get to meet Pete, see their shops, and do that kind of stuff. But no, we'll bring it back, and then the little suburb of Fort Worth that we live in, I can't wait to be able to take it to local Cars and Coffee, or down to get ice cream or something like that. So it's pretty cool. I've got a 46 Willis Jeep, so like an old Army Jeep, and so this will fit in right next to the old Willis. So, and they're both like about the same level of patina, and yeah, so it'll be great.
I would highly recommend doing that. I mean,
Yeah, and I'm planning on taking my dad too, so that'll be
Ah.
neat. So, and then also my little boy, they're both Pete and Wally are close to Charlotte, and you got the NASCAR Hall of Fame. There's a bunch over there, so I'm gonna try to make a good long weekend out of it, make that happen this fall. So
you got to do it. That's what this bike is all about. Is
Yeah.
opening doors, these communities, meeting these people.
oh my
And
gosh, yeah.
their stories are awesome. They couldn't be nicer guys. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just like they just know all about the stuff.
The people are what make car and motorcycle hobbies the best. It's I've never been short of being amazed at how nice people are and welcoming and wanting to just share. So it's yeah, that we won't miss that opportunity on this one.
So I can't wait to see it running. You got to send me a video once it kicks over and starts. I can't wait
Yeah,
to see it.
absolutely, absolutely.
I'm sure Bob is going to be over the moon when he sees the old Indian back on the road again. You know.
Yep. When it comes home, that'll be the first stop. Is take it over to Bob's house for him to get to see it all cleaned up and riding again in his neighborhood will be really special. So
If it's Austin's bike, I know it's going to be clean.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
What a story, beautiful image that makes. That's really
Yep.
special.
Yeah. So
Dude, amazing. Thank you so much for chatting with me. It's really appreciate it. All the pictures, all the documentation. What an adventure. It's
yeah,
gonna be-
no, absolutely. Happy to do it. I'll keep everybody posted on the bike, and it doesn't look like Wally posts a ton. So every time I get an update, if it's worth sharing, I'll share it. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, this has been such a great Saturday. I really appreciate you chatting with me.
Yeah.
Pictures and everything. It's amazing. So best of luck.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Can't wait to see it on the road again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been great chatting. We'll catch up, and yeah, I'll keep everybody posted on the bike.
Cool, man. Take care. Be safe.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Have a great one.
All right.
That's beautiful. It's so perfect.